Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Hi, and welcome back to Realistic Sustainability. I'm Mike, and I'm with Jamison, but she's currently wearing an octopus cartoon on her head. I don't know if you know this, but we do this in Google Meets or whatever it is, and she's having a lot of fun with the filters.
Let's see how much I can distract Mike while he's giving us good information. I just have a purple octopus on my head.
I don't understand, because Nick likes to make faces and do funny things, knowing that we're not using the videos. So it's purely to distract me, and you're just going straight cartoon character on your forehead.
I mean, he looks like he's inquisitive.
Well, he's fictional. He could look like a lot of different things.
He's raising his hand right now.
No, I'm not calling on the octopus on your forehead.
Oh, fine.
Anyways, how are you today? Minus the ocean creatures on you.
I'm good. I'm not going to lie. I was going to take it off my head, but now I can't figure out how.
Nice. Yeah, well, I am your tech support, but I'm not there. So
You're right. You're right. So now you have to deal with octopus. He's here forever now.
Oh, fantastic.
You're welcome.
That won't be distracting whatsoever. And no one else knows this is even happening. So yay.
You're welcome.
We've been talking on the show a little bit. You haven't been on. Nick was on, and we were talking about the house. Let's get your perspective. So in case anybody hasn't been listening, Jamison and I have found another duplex. This one, we'll call it a doozy. Not quite as good a shape as the last one, and boy, did we have good stories from the last one.
Oh, this one is quite interesting.
We're testing our skill at this point.
Well, right now it's just cleaning. It's just cleaning and finding all sorts of adventures. We've dealt with a lot of feces in the last couple of weeks. I don't know how to say that any nicer, to be honest.
Well, and it's not just one kind. We had cat feces, human feces. There's a large array of crap we're removing from this house.
Yeah. It's been interesting, that's for certain.
And some of you are probably thinking, what in the heck are they even thinking if it's that bad? But we only paid $13,000 for the duplex. So it's solid. It's just a mess.
Yeah. And if it turns into the money pit, you know what? We'll just sell the contents and walk away, I guess.
I will say a bunch of people are really enjoying our videos and I'll tell you guys, it's just like one little weird thing after another over and over and again. And we're still in the cleaning it phase. And I don't mean like scrubbing it. We're just getting the garbage out. So people will ask, well, is downstairs clean? No, downstairs is empty. There's a difference.
Definitely not clean still, but it is empty.
Right. So here shortly, I'll do a short on some of those things. And I'm sure some of you watch some of the videos on my Facebook or on YouTube. Links are all down in the description. It has been wildly entertaining thus far, and hopefully we'll get to a point where we can actually restore it.
And by wildly entertaining, we mean we found 5 kittens in a drawer.
Yeah, with adult toys. That was kittens living in a drawer full of adult toys.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't a great parenting moment on the mom cat's part.
There's a lot to unpack there, but anyways, we should probably just go into the show. What I wanted to do is, we're always looking at different perspectives of things, but there's like certain kinds of topics that are sustainability like staples. One of them is what we're talking about today, the 9 easy swaps. And in case anybody's wondering, I originally wrote it as 10, but that doesn't fit in a nice grid fashion on the cover. So 9 it is. And that's the kind of itch in my brain that happens.
And I just rolled my eyes.
Well, I'm sure they could hear it.
You only get 9/10 of the information because Mike didn't like how it fit on the page.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I would not be able to successfully put a cover page on it to be able, like the show cover. So it would get a grid as 3 across
Oh my
and 3
gosh.
down. It'll work.
I live with this, you guys, on a daily basis. I'm
Oh,
not
I think
saying
after this many seasons, they figured it out. Okay, I'm a little freaking weird.
I'm not saying I make good life choices. So
Again,
do we get a bonus 10th one? Or I mean just a bonus one because it can't be 10.
no, absolutely not.
You're just hoarding the last 10 for okay.
We'll see. We'll see. All right.
Okay.
So actually, where every time you listen to these, it's always the paper for plastic, the beeswax for baggy, stuff like that. So I wanted to try to find some of these things to be a little bit different. A lot of people have their power surge suppressors all over the house, right? There's 3, 4, 5 things plugged into them. And I'm not sure everybody understands that even when you shut off all your devices, they're still drawing electricity. So there are smart strips, or quite simply, mount it in a place where you can see it and just turn it off. If you turn it off, it kills the power and you have very close to zero loss. So you're not paying for standby. A lot of our electronics are designed to be ready when you're ready at all times. In order to do that, it costs energy. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is just simply swapping those surge suppressors, either in a location in which it's easy to turn on and off, or moving to a smart one so that when things go idle, it shuts them all the way down.
I always worry about losing my information. I know it sounds
What?
silly, but I don't know. Like I'm always afraid it's gonna like reset my crap if it's unplugged.
What
It's
are you unplugging that is going to
I
reset?
don't know. It's just in my head that if you unplug it, it's just gonna reset. Kind of
You're
like
supposed
when the
Oop.
power goes off and the time doesn't come back on the clocks. That's in my head.
I feel like I should leave this pause in that moment.
Say it made sense, but neither does
Like,
9 facts instead of 10. So you know
so
what?
are you saying if I
Deal.
hit this surge suppressor and the TV goes out when you come back, it won't know what Netflix is
Maybe it'll lose all my Netflix information. Where's my serial killer documentaries gonna go?
in Netflix?
Well, I
They
don't
keep
know
that
that.
data, not Vizio.
Well, I don't know that.
Okay. Well, in case anybody's wondering, no, your computer will not lose all of its information if we unplug it.
Hey, I'm just helping keep people informed.
Anything that you have plugged in has some kind of draw from the electrical bill. At very minimum, from the resistance of electricity moving up and down the wire. So, for example, just having your cell phone plugged in, you get up in the morning, you unplug it, and you leave. Just having the plug plugged in ready for you is going to cost you about, and it's not very much, but it's going to cost you like $10 a year just existing in that spot. So anything that is plugged in, even if it doesn't have standby, will take something from the electricity that's coming through the house. Now, the items with standby are far more. It's usually between 5 and 10% of your electric bill,
Oh wow.
depending on if you are, a techie or not, or have a lot of things plugged in. The one thing that I am horrible about when it comes to that is leaving my laptop plugged in.
And open.
Well, that's a different, I know that bothers you, but that's a whole different thing. That is not power related. That's
No,
angry
that's
Jameson related.
that's because I have to save your computer from the cat sleeping on it.
Well, the cats love me and everything about me.
I know, but they're gonna delete your information and then you're gonna be mad.
They're gonna unplug it and I'll lose everything.
Yeah, exactly. What if their fat bodies control alt delete the whole computer?
I don't know. TVs, especially game consoles, those take a lot. Microwaves, coffee makers, clocks, phone chargers, laptops, computers, monitors, all these things. If it has a little red light to tell you it's ready, it's consuming a decent amount of electricity. Now, you can get those little plug-in readers, which are kind of cool. We're going to do a STEM class here very soon with them, where if you plug your surge suppressor in and everything that you plug in, it will start telling you how much it's taking. So for the kids' science class, we can plug in a blow dryer,
Ooh,
see
that's
what it's
flat.
taking, and then turn it on low, turn it on medium, turn it on high, and watch the consumption change, and then put a dollar value to it. Where they're like, okay, you can blow dry your hair, but understand it's 4 cents every 30 seconds, like, or 8 cents a minute. Treat it like an old cell phone.
Right, right. So you were saying that just having your cell phone cord in is approximately $10 a
A year.
year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
we
we
have
have 20
five
of
of
them.
us.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
have 5 people in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us have a cell phone. Grayson has a tablet. They all have multiple chargers plugged in at any given time. But yeah, it's that's pretty nuts. I bet we probably spend 100 and $150 a year just in
Having chargers where we want them.
chargers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I have a charger at every spot I sit.
Well, and it's worse with like my laptop that's got a little transformer in it. So it's constantly moving electricity back and forth. But then when I plug in, and yet my battery is full, I plug in anyways, using the juice while I'm charging game, when I should just be using the battery and then plugging it in when I'm not using it,
Oh
not just leaving it plugged in.
my computer doesn't last that long. I
Okay.
get about 15, 20 minutes.
People can do an experiment. Like I said, if you go online, there's little AC electrical meters. They're just a standard AC grounded plug that you can put in to the wall and then plug items into, and it will tell you how much you're using. So a lot of times people will say, I got to get rid of this old appliance. I'm sure it's using way more energy than the new ones. You can check. So before you get rid of a perfectly good working item, make sure it's using more because it may not.
There is actually a guy that I don't know if it's on TikTok or Facebook Reels or whatever, but he actually does that with like old fridges where people are like, oh, you've got to get rid of those fridges, you know. And actually, like almost every single one he's come across uses less electricity than the brand new ones. And he's like
Mm.
just proving that that is inaccurate and just a way
Oh,
that people get they get people to be consumerism or have consumerism.
maybe the compressor does take more electricity. Maybe it's less efficient, but it doesn't have 19 different modules within it that are supposed to do different things or communicate with your home assistant, and it doesn't have Wi-Fi that's always connected. So maybe they're right that the compressor and the older unit is less efficient, but it has none of the electronics. So when
No,
you
he's not using any crazy fancy fridges. He's just doing your stereotypical base model fridges versus, you know, old grandma fridges. And almost everyone he's come across, unless it has a bad seal on it, the old fridge is better on your electric bill.
Okay, well, that's the cool thing about getting those meters, and then I'll
Hmm.
I'll link one down in the description so people can see what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to explain without. Well, when I talk about electrical meters, I think of a multimeter, like you're out working on wiring. But this is simply something you plug in, and you can check the kilowatt hours. It give you kind of a cost for what you're running. It's cool. Number two, and in our household, it's a sore situation because our misto is starting to die, and it's sad. But we're
Oh,
using the refillable container items like we do with our oil. So cooking
yep.
oil, we buy a larger jug and we pour it into the misto, and that's what it's called. It's on our website before from the first time I tried them out. We have used that thing how long now? 4 years?
Yeah, at least 4. Probably more because I think we got it before we got married.
Because it looks like it's been put through a war at this point. It's
Well,
aluminum.
I've like accidentally drop kicked that thing across the kitchen a couple times.
But
So
all
it's
it
probably
is,
my fault it doesn't work. It
but
worked great before I got a hold of
all
it.
it is instead of buying was it Pam or the spray oils or spray butters, It is a small container that you pour your items into, like an oil, and you can pump it up and spray it, and it will work just like your cooking sprays. And we have used it for so long. Now it's just like a stream. I tried to put it through the dishwasher. We've tried to clean it. I think this one is just finely done. They're not even expensive.
I think
I
they're
know
like
they're aluminum.
$9. Yeah,
Well, and I know they're aluminum, so I want to use it forever if I can, but
right.
I think the top part, what I'm going to look for and see is if they have a replacement for the top part, because that would be cool. I do like our aluminum damaged, dented. It's like, to me, it's like showing how long we've had it. It's super exciting. But refillable or bulk items like this, or using bulk to refill items like this, is a good way to save money. It's a good way to reduce on the amount of packaging that is in things. It's also a great way to tell Jameson you have olive oil when you've been filling it with vegetable
Oh,
oil for roughly 6 months.
I knew it was tasted funny, and I was like, I almost dumped it and was like, "This is bad." I think that does olive oil like I'm literally having this internal monologue with myself, like, does olive oil go bad? And then I'm like, and it wasn't even like vegetable oil; it was like canola oil or something, and I'm like, it just doesn't taste like olive oil. Here, I thought I was being healthier and crap, but no.
And if you're like, there's certain drinks that you can buy, can concentrate and make your own larger jugs. There's a lot of different things that we can do. Ours,
Well,
the
and
first thing I thought of was that oil.
right. And well, and two, just like those Pam sprays, there's a lot of bad stuff in them in general, and not just Pam, like I don't know what
And there's Pam,
all
and
the
there's like
brands
the
are
store
called.
brands. I don't know that there's others out
Right. I
there.
don't know what the not on brand name of those are called, but yeah, like the sprayers and stuff, there's a lot of not good stuff in there that it's just better to just use straight olive oil. It's healthier for you too.
And even if we had to replace it every 5 years or so, it'd still be well worth it. It's very inexpensive. It works great.
Mhm.
And again, so anything that we talk about here, I guess I'll just take the time and I'll link it down to the description in case anybody wants to take a look at it. But the Misto was the good one. That one
Well,
we've
and
used for a long time.
I truly believe it would last longer if I would stop knocking it off of the top shelf.
That would be fantastic.
But
Yeah.
I'm short and it's hard to reach things, so
Well, when you're
sometimes they
throwing a
get
shoe at it to knock it down, it's a whole different problem.
yeah, but I'm getting old. I can't climb the counters like I used to. I got bad knees.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Number three is, in the sustainability world, everybody is generally militant about it. In our household, it's a goal, ending red meat and shifting into others. So, for example, I've in the past split hamburger and turkey meat, mixed it together for tacos or spaghetti, and it's not something people always notice unless I put too much of the turkey in there. That's a good way to kind of reduce. Now, spaghetti, I've learned that using Italian sausage is a little bit better, or in some cases, there's some meals where we just don't have the meat at all. But switching out of red meat does a lot more for us. It does a lot more for the environment. There's a lot of good reasons. It's just sometimes it's hard to get people to do that and stay that way.
Well, and I used to, back when turkey wasn't as expensive as it was, it used to be that you could get turkey for way cheaper than hamburger meat. And if you take hamburger seasoning, like the basic hamburger seasoning, and you put that on turkey, you really can't even tell that it's like if you're putting it in spaghetti or putting it in, sauce of sorts, you really can't even tell
Mhm.
that it's not. So that's how I kind of got around the not as exciting flavor.
Well, it's a little more bland. I think everybody understands that
Right.
seasoning is something that is required. But if you cook like a pound of each together and
Right.
then separate it in one day as spaghetti and the next day as tacos kind of thing, I think that it goes a lot further. The real answer is that what we're supposed to do is get rid of red meat. It's just, even in today's world where red meat is extremely expensive, and it's much more expensive than it was even 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I think we were looking up stats for the last show. The United States has only dropped like 6% consumption from red meat. We're just going to go into more debt, is what we'd rather do.
More debt for a steak. That's how Grayson's gonna go poor. That kid
So
loves steak.
we have been shifted back, to chickens and to pork. Unfortunately, as long as we have a house full of kids who think fish is gross, we don't get it as much as we would like. But the goal would be, the true goal is to shift out of it into more veggies, more starches, and get away from having any meats, because those industries are terrible. But small portions, 3-4 ounces, is not a big deal. Today we had good portions of roasted potatoes because of my mishap of ordering what I believe is record amounts of potatoes in our
Oh my
house.
gosh. And I even said to you something about potatoes. And
Yeah,
you
and I'm like, wow, I don't even know what she's talking about, because these, I'm pretty sure, are apples. And then they
no,
were not apples, they were potatoes.
and you ordered like 5 bags.
They were $1 a bag.
Right. Well, which is great, but that's all we're gonna eat for the next 3 months is potatoes.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, I
So,
made some joke about the potato famine. Yeah, but then you're like, "What?" Ooh,
it
and I
didn't
was
make
like,
any sense to me. It's not,
"I know," and I'm like, "Maybe
apples
I'm."
didn't help that.
Well, you gaslit me into thinking I didn't know my history.
Well, I apologize.
Yeah,
I'll
that's all right.
I'll make it up with some potatoes.
Right, right. French fries, anyone?
All right, number 4. This is one that I'm getting better at, as long as it's not for business. If for me, I'm getting better at. Number 4 is changing some of your purchasing habits to either more sustainable brands, or to buy items closer to home. So I do try to find local places for a lot of things when I can now. Groceries is still a miss, because I haven't started going back to the butcher and to the local places for bread. Mainly because, I mean, the bread, this is going to answer itself, but when I buy bread locally, we've got like 2 days to eat it. And I'm pretty sure if you buy bread from the store, it's infinite. Like, it will be there as long as
Months.
you roll the end of the bag over, that'll be there for a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I think we know which one's healthy, but I haven't I haven't gotten there yet. But that is something we can really do to encourage. Look in your community for cottage industry, people who make your desserts, the people who make breads, all that stuff.
I like, we call her the cookie girl, or we just call her Cookie, actually.
Yeah, I just call her Cookie. It's Erin.
Yeah, we love her. She makes some stinking good cookies. And then there was the donut place that you can also get breads there for a while, but
At Lance's.
yeah, but that place closed, unfortunately. But yeah, no, there was quite a few places around here, but I feel like it's starting to pick back up. We kind of we had some, then we lost some, and now they're picking back up as far as the cottage industry stuff goes, especially with the Wednesday night music in the streets things. We seem to be drawing a lot more cottage industry people, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and if you're from the area, Erin's Cookies is Sweet Ease.
Oh yeah,
That's Sweet Ease makes amazing desserts.
and
Uh,
they're big too. It's not just little tiny cookies; they're big, good ones.
mhm. And well, I would like to find that bread baker, because I would like to get a good sourdough, or good, something
Hmm.
hearty. Maybe we get one of those, and then one from the store, so we can watch it for the next year, but
Oh my
eat the other
gosh!
one, on
Right.
a regular basis, and that becomes the backup bread or something. I got to figure out the balance to slowly move us. The little bit works for us. It does not work when we're like, we're just going to change everything, because that bread will be moldy far before it needs to be for us.
Well, we're hit or miss with bread though, because like Grayson will go through a loaf of bread in a day. And then the minute you're like, okay, I'll buy 3 loaves of bread, he no longer wants bread. It's
Yeah,
so
but I think
aggravating.
that's an availability thing. If it's on the edge of being gone, scarcity makes everybody want it. It doesn't matter if it's in our
Right.
house or in our community.
Right.
Scarcity produces value. So what I need to do is just hide most of it and keep him thinking he's right at the end, and he'll just act normal.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah, because whenever we have more than one loaf, it's like nobody touches it.
well, and the one swap that worked really well for me is getting rid of vitamins and going to Magic Mine.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yep.
because I don't miss that ever in the morning. That's part of my routine. I can take that drink every once in a while. I'll grab a second one midday or late midday, but usually it's in the morning before I brush my teeth. I go in, shake one up, drink it, go to the restroom, start getting ready for work. It's just part of what I do. I used to buy vitamins all the time, and it was like a collection.
Oh my gosh, it would drive me nuts. You'd buy tons of vitamins and then you'd take them for a week and then they'd sit in there and then I'd say, "Hey, can I throw these away?" And you're like, "Nope, I'm gonna use those." And then they never got used. And eventually I just threw them away when you weren't looking.
Yeah, so
So yeah, I'm glad you found a better way.
well, lucky for me, Magic Mind found me, but
Very
that
true.
allows me to get the vitamins I need. It's helped with the brain fog. It's doing
Mhm.
all the things I need it to do. It's,
Yep.
I don't get the burst of energy like Nick did, but I do get what to me I feel like is the most important, which is to get rid of the brain fog. That was really bothering me a lot. It's an easy thing to do every morning. And I don't drink the sleep aid every night. That's like I have sleep aids, but I have them as kind of a backup when I'm having a hard time sleeping. The Magic Mind mental performance is daily for me. I don't
Yeah.
miss that.
But the sleep aid, you're not a big fan of chamomile, so I think that's probably why you don't take it. But
Or lemon. And it's so
yeah, and you don't, yeah, and lemon, which is weird. Lemon's so
I
good.
I don't understand flavors very well, and Jamie had to tell me what I disliked because I'm like, "Oh, I don't like this." And she's like, "Well, then you don't like chamomile. You might want to get rid of that tea over there because you're not going to want to drink it because I don't like lemon or chamomile." And that's how we found out was the sleep aid. But when it came to the mental performance drink, the first time I drank it, I was like, "I'm not sure." About the third time,
Mhm.
I'm good. By the third bottle, I actually like the taste now. So
Well, it's kinda
that's
like when people drink their greens, like, I I don't know how people drink their greens, but the first time they drink it, they're like, "Oh, it's horrible," but then as they start drinking 'em, they're like, "I can't live without it." Same idea, like, it may not be the best tasting thing right off the bat, but if you start taking it on a regular basis, your body actually will start craving those vitamins, so
yeah, it's been pretty helpful for me. And for anybody else who wants to try it out, just go down into the description. There's a link that will take you directly to the site so they know you came from Realistic Sustainability, which will
Mhm.
help you be able to put in the coupon code sustainability APR. I believe the APR they mean is for April, not annual percentage rate. So
Oh my gosh.
sustainability APR to get 20% off. Just go to the link, type that in, and get your 20% off and try it out. If you do try it, let me know how you like it. I would love to hear the feedback.
Yeah, and it's super good. I think that's the biggest part. It's convenient for you, The taking a million vitamins every morning is not convenient, and making yourself a green smoothie is not convenient.
I
But
don't have to remember to buy them.
right,
Every
yeah,
30 days, it shows up. I get a text message first that makes sure I need them. Then I
yep,
get an email to double check, are you still good? Because I can go into the dashboard and hit skip if I want, but if I need them, then it will go through the process, and that is nice. And if I want to
yep,
skip it, I hit skip, and they're quiet till next month.
yeah. That's great.
So number 5, let's move on a little bit here. Number 5 is water saving. Those low flow devices. Those are really easy for install. Our was it Consumers Energy in this region gives them away. Although I think we're 6 years into the shower one upstairs, and the children are now sending me photos of the
They broke
water.
it.
They did. The valve is they get very little pressure. We're starting to get the peasant uprising from the tinies about how much water is coming down on them. But to me, that's just a water saver.
Right? That is true.
I thank them for their service. Thank you very
Yep.
much for whatever you've done to the faucet. Now the shower head releases even less water.
Yep.
Congratulations. It's more efficient.
Yep. That's funny.
But one of the cooler ones, the one that they're complaining about right now, when we first got it, used to freak everybody out because it was driving me nuts. The kids would turn the water on to wait for it to get hot and then like go play a game or something or watch they just left. And that shower would run forever before you yell at them to get in the shower, right? And that one has a valve in it. The moment the water gets warm, it just shuts it off. The valve
Yeah.
swells, it pops, it closes it, and there's no water coming out.
Yeah, and then they have to like pull a string when they get in the shower for it to
To open the
run
valve again.
again. Yep. That was actually the best because especially Grayson when he was, you know, 7, 8, 9, 13.
Yeah.
He was the worst at that.
Well, and I think just about everybody can check their local energy provider and look on their website to see if they have energy saving items. And if they do, they probably have those. Matter of fact, if you request an energy audit, at least in our region from consumers, they'll come out and tell you all the different things that you can do to reduce the amount of energy consumption in the home. They'll check insulation, they'll scan the walls so you can see if the insulation's good there or if there's cold air coming through. And then they usually give you kind of a gift pack, which is aerators for your faucets, the low flow shower heads, all kinds of cool freebies.
Yeah. I think the kids all came home with stuff from consumers at one point. I think they did a school thing.
Mhm.
And so we ended up changing out multiple faucets and doing multiple different things in the house with just the kids' packs. That was pretty neat.
Well, I may actually, now that I think about it, if I remember correctly, here at Dabble, there's a box that still has more stuff like that. I need to check and see if it's got a shower head in it. Maybe I can swap
Oh,
it with another valve one.
they would be so excited.
I have to do it when they have no idea. I want them to like get blasted with the water out of confusion. Is that wrong of me?
We'll just hear them
Well,
scream.
why have kids if you can't have fun, right?
Exactly.
All right. So the number 6 on the easy swaps. This one I will live and die by is disposable batteries versus rechargeable batteries.
Life
Uh,
changing.
it really has
It
been.
is freaking life changing.
But for those of you who've tried rechargeables and they didn't work, pay very close attention to the milliamps. The higher the milliamp, the better quality the battery and the longer it will last. We have batteries here that if they weren't lost, they've lasted what, 6 years? And that's with kids swapping them out,
Oh, yeah.
once a week playing video games and different things. They are getting used.
Oh, they're
Here at
constantly swapping. Yeah. They're always between the 8 million Xbox controllers and toys and all that. They're definitely getting their use.
Yep, and here at Dabble, same thing from STEM class items to robotics to the Xbox controllers and the
Hmm.
gaming area down below. We are always using them and they last.
Oh,
They
yeah.
last longer than you'll remember where they're at.
Actually, for Christmas, um, Grayson's dad, I got um him a rechargeable battery thing and rechargeable batteries, and he's like, "That's the best gift ever."
You'll save this insane amount of, they're not even that expensive. So it comes with
No,
like this charger that will charge like 8 at a time and it will fit double A's or triple A's. And
well,
then
you can
you
get them
can,
where it charges like 12 or 14. You can
Mhm.
get bigger ones too.
Yep. And they're really not that expensive. And I mean, shoot, going out and get disposables. I mean, I've had a few times where I'm like in trouble and have to go get disposables, and I'm shocked by the cost. Because once they're gone, I'm throwing them away. They're going to the landfill,
Right,
and it's terrible. These
right.
ones I can continue. I don't really know any of them that have just simply failed.
No, and I don't know any of them that have like, like a battery will like leak out sometimes.
Mhm.
I haven't seen any of them do that in anything either.
So maybe when I put the links below, I'll just put the brand or the style we used, and people can choose what
Mhm.
they want from there. But the higher milliamps matter. So if you're buying an inexpensive rechargeable battery and you're like, man, these things don't last very long at all, it could be the style. And I'll just show you what we have. You can use that as an example. These work very, very well. And that is with a technology home that
Hmm.
even the kids are just as good with technology, and we are constantly using different things.
The hardest part with that, though, was when Grayson and I moved in and we had to train Grayson that batteries just don't get thrown away anymore.
Yeah, that we had a minute there. And then we
Yeah.
also had to also to say, hey, those old ones that were in your toys, they do not go in the charger.
Oh, yeah, that just recently happened too.
Yeah, doesn't really matter the age. You got to kind of keep an eye on it. But really, the best answer is scrub the house of all the disposables, use them up, make them go away, and then just replace everything as rechargeables. And you really, if you can keep track of them, you may never buy batteries again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's like I said, life changing. I love them.
We were talking about it recently that like the controllers for the kids. So you'd buy batteries, they'd swap them out every 2 or 3 days. You got a pile of garbage. These things will last a week in there with
Hmm.
them using them at the same rate. And then they
Could you
just walk
imagine?
over. Hmm?
I couldn't imagine how broke we would be just keeping their Xbox controllers
It's ridiculous.
going. Right. That's absolutely ridiculous.
And now they can just plug it into the charger, grab the next set, and walk away.
Yep.
The hard part's going to be making sure they plug in the other set before they take the others.
Yep. Yep.
Because then the new argument in the household between the kids is, you didn't charge your batteries, now I can't play.
Yeah. And it's always finger pointing left and right.
Yep, and there goes the batteries in the remote. Now we can't do anything. So it's just a mess. But if you have plenty, keep them charged, and you're all done buying batteries. Let's see. Oh, number 7 is something I want to do. And we've started a little bit of a test, but I realize our front yard is enclosed. So we can, the item is replace your lawn and either start a garden or change it to something more sustainable. For us, it's clover, right? We're testing clover in some spots.
Hmm.
But our front yard, the very front yard, not the side over by Roy's, but our front yard is completely enclosed. We could turn that
What
into
do you
clover.
mean it's enclosed?
Um, it has got the driveway on one side, the house on the other, the sidewalk, and our walkway. So it can't spread
Oh,
into a neighbor's yard.
I
That's
see
the
what you're
problem I'm
saying.
running into is the things I want to do could creep into, especially like Roy. Roy really likes his yard to be very particular, very green, very manicured. And I start just letting all kinds of
Our
clover go
poor,
everywhere.
he makes our yard look just awful. And we're so busy sometimes. It's like, I apologize profusely that I didn't get to the gardens. Like,
Oh, and I
but
don't really care if we keep it up or not. It's a yard. Yards are weird and awkward to begin with. It somehow became a standard convention that became an obligation. I'm
right,
hoping to get rid of chunks of it, but
right,
Roy is a big fan of wildly curated lawns, and I don't want to disrupt his.
right, right.
But one of the things I had thought of is in our town, you can't get blue, and Ball Horticulture helped me out because apparently blue is not a nature, like a color that comes from nature. It's artificial. When it comes to plants, there's very little that are blue. A lot of violets, almost no blue. I was thinking, man, blue and white thyme, creeping thyme. You put that in those the space between the sidewalk and the road,
Oh,
and
yeah.
alternate them between all the houses would look really cool.
Be Durand colors.
It would, and it would be vibrant and cool
Right,
looking and invasive. And you wouldn't have to mow it though.
right.
You would just have to weed whack it, around the edges, and then you're done.
Yeah, that'd be cool looking.
But that's one of those swaps that you could do is replace portions of your lawn with things that are useful.
Yeah.
Uh,
We also have a small little triangle of property that's also enclosed in that is where we keep our raspberries. And Addison was wanting to add more raspberries, and I said nope, because then they will make it into the neighbor's yard, and
mhm.
that would hurt some feelings, I think.
Yeah, no, she asked me the same, and I told her, explained to her what invasive species of plants are.
Right.
And so I think she gets the idea. She just doesn't like to lose. So we'll have to see what happens.
Right? She's gonna find a way.
Oh, she's just gonna cut sticks and go plant them over there and go, what? The birds. From all the times that I've said, hey, you can't stop birds from pooping seeds. It's gonna come back and bite me one of these times.
It is. It is. She
So
does listen to those little words of wisdom you give her, and then uses them against us often.
yes, yes.
She's not a dumb
So
kid.
find sections of your lawn and make it less lawn. If it's a garden, it's way more useful as a garden than it is a lawn. Even if it's just clover, it's far more useful. Clover will not only feed the bees, it will feed the bunnies,
Hmm.
and it will feed the ground. It
Yeah.
doesn't. It actually recharges the ground. That's why when you have solar farms over top of old farm fields, a lot of times they'll plant clover underneath it. That contract is usually 7 to 10 years. By the time they pull those panels, that's going to be really fertile land. Anyways, that's something that you can do. Take a look at different landlocked spots that you have where you can just try new things.
Yeah.
Number 8. This is something we've done, and I think at this point we would tell anybody that they should do the same, which is getting rid of detergent and getting rid of like the water jug of detergent, getting rid of dryer sheets, going with the
Hmm.
wool balls, I love the detergent sheets. And what you've started to do to create the stink pretty, I don't know what you call them, but the little beads that smell really, really good, instead of taking a bunch of those and throwing them in, you're putting them in water and using that as a way to
Well,
fragrance it.
and I did that. I did that for more than one reason. So yes, I did it to make it last longer because let's face it, those things are expensive. Like those Gain
Hmm.
smell good ones. So I got the Gain ones because they're the strongest smelling in my opinion, and they smell super good. But I also put them in water because our washing machine doesn't dissolve them all the way because we have the
Low flow.
yeah, low flow washing machine. So we couldn't use them. So I did it for two reasons. So it wasn't as wasteful, but also so it wasn't sticking to our clothes.
Well, and it's like you're taking the amount that you would have thrown in a single load and you're
Hmm.
getting 4 or 5, 6 loads out of it.
Yeah.
In a mason jar. So you take that with the fact that you're using detergent sheets, which are
Hmm.
really quite inexpensive in comparison. Because face it, if you took the jug and dehydrated it down to, it's like a single pod. It's like this tiny little amount of soap in a big jug of water.
Yeah.
So I love the detergent sheets. They dissolve, everything works fine. I don't think we've tried 3 or 4 brands, and I think they all work fine.
Yeah, I've liked all of them. And also the laundry room just looks cleaner in general because there isn't drippy soap everywhere and there isn't the big huge containers and yeah, I love it.
Now, the one thing I do need to do is go online because they're not expensive and get another 6 dryer balls. Sometimes the animals take off with them and they're harder to find.
Yeah, I think some of them end up in the kids' room too on accident.
And I will tell you, if someone comes to your house and wants to borrow using the laundry or haven't been home in a while, walk them through it so they don't take the detergent sheets and throw them in the dryer.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Because we've had that a couple of times too. Yet make it pretty well known which items are which.
Actually, I believe didn't we switch when Aiden was I feel like
In
we
the
switched.
army.
Yeah, wasn't he in boot camp
That's
when
so
we
when he came
switched?
back.
So when he came back, he threw them in the dryer. I
Yeah.
was like, whoops.
Yep. So just a quick FYI, if you got someone else coming over, just maybe label them or something. Anyways, let's get to number 9. The last one is very, very simple. I had just read a bunch about this, so I wanted to add it on here too, which is go back to bar soap. Bar soap is produced in a more efficient manner. It has less packaging. It's usually you can get specialty soaps because people locally have learned to make soap, so you can get soap locally. There's a lot of benefits that you can get just by switching it back. No more plastic jugs. It's all usually wrapped in paper. If it's in plastic, try to avoid it, but most of it can be kind of a wax paper, which is biodegradable once it starts to break down. And bar soap itself, I grew up with it. So to me, it's really not much different.
Well, and I love the soap that people make around town. And it's kind of like a little treat too. Like I like getting the different smells and all that. And I usually will take, because they're a big bar. And then I usually cut them in half or even in quarters because they're so big. But they last so much longer than your store-bought bars, and I feel like the smell it's more they're more fragrant. Like I
Mhm.
just really enjoy them.
I like what you did with camping. You cut up the little zest ones into tiny cubes. You put it all around the camper. And then when we go camping, it's just our soap that we use this season.
Yeah. So one way to deter mice is Irish Spring. So I always cut up a bunch of bar soap into, I don't know, like
Oh,
16.
cubes.
Yeah. And then when we go camping, like the next season, we go camping, I just pick them all back up, throw them in a bag. Then when the kids go to the showers, I just give them a little handful of soaps.
Hmm.
So, and also dryer sheets, bounce dryer sheets. That is the one time I do buy dryer sheets is for the camper. Those get thrown all over the camper as well because mice also don't like those. And then I will bring those back in at the end of, the winter and use those for a little bit just so I'm not wasting them. So I'm getting a double use out of them.
I think the other one was what, peppermint and cotton balls, right?
Yep. I take cotton balls and put peppermint on them and cedar wood. So
Yeah. So
it's a very, very fragrant camper come springtime, but it works. I mean, so far, knock on wood, I have not opened the camper this season yet, but it's worked since
I like those things that you can use.
2020.
I like those things that you can reuse. Those like the
Hmm.
soaps. That's really cool that you can put
Yeah.
those around. They serve a purpose, and then we use them.
And then they serve another purpose. Yep.
Yep.
And
So
it's not gross. The camper is completely washed before they get thrown all over the place. So I'm not handing the kids gross soap.
and they're taking them in the shower. They'll rinse
I
them.
know. They wouldn't care anyways.
But it is something that we do. And just recently with groceries, I bought another big block of Irish Spring soap. So switching from those liquids to bar soaps where you can actually does quite a bit for waste. So that
Yeah.
was our 9. I did in a sense sneak in a
Where's
10
my
with the
bonus? Where's my
no,
bonus?
I did in a sense sneak in the 10 if you count Magic Mine in the middle.
Oh, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I guess. Went okay.
Or here
Since it's magic mind, I'll let it slide.
we'll do it this way. I gave us the 9. We went with uh learning about the phantom electricity, learning to control that with your different kinds of surge suppressor methods. We talked about refilling items like our oil sprayer,
Mhm.
red meat. We talked about changing to more local shops away from national shops,
Mhm.
Magic Mine, water saving and low flow, disposable batteries, replacing your lawn, dryer sheets slash dryer balls, and or soap and detergents, and then the bar soap for ourselves.
Okay. I'll accept it as 10, I suppose.
But we'll also say this: I guarantee there's people out there with a ton of great ideas.
Yeah.
If you guys could help my marriage and give me one so we can call it 10, put it down in the comments and I will show her every night when we lay down. I'm going to go, "Look, here's another number 10 just for you."
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So, again, you're really helping me, you're helping realistic sustainability, and you're helping our marriage by doing that. So, in the comments, give me your quick and easy swap. Again, thank you everybody for listening. If you want to support your mental health, your mood while supporting realistic sustainability, don't forget to click the link down in the description for Magic Mind. Use sustainability APR. Again, it's not a bank term. This is for April. you'll get 20% off of your subscription from
ridiculous.
Magic Mind. I am not. First thing I thought of was
It's gonna be easy to remember though, because you keep saying that.
oh, see, it's almost like I meant it.
Yep.
And again, I'll put the rest of the links for different items below that you can see. Maybe some of those will help you save some waste in the house or even simplify what you do. So thank you all again so much for listening. I don't think I can always express that enough. I do greatly appreciate it. Remember, we're just trying to get a little bit better each day. No one's perfect, but we can try to get a little better. Little bit, big bit. I'm Mike.
I'm Jamison.
And we will see you soon.
Bye.